sign up, bring your team in. You know, the sky's the limit from there.
So if you were looking to scout a player, what can make them stand out on a team?
One, you know, when I see your streams and I see how much.
Hi, everyone. Time to get into it. NBA action on 2K Sports. So the Nets starting five. Johnson is out there with Dorian Finney-Smith. Then it's Mikal Bridges. Then there's Jay, and it's Claxton in at the center position. And for Atlanta, in the post, it's Bey and Capella. In the backcourt, it's the stars, Young and Murray. And it's Hunter in at the 3 slot. Well, Greg, both of these teams love to push the pace. Think we're in for a high-speed game?
That's a safe assumption, yeah. I mean, but that'll also make this a serious test of stamina. It'll be hard for them to outrun each other all night long.
And Capella sends it down. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Capella. Here's Jay. It's hauled in by Clint Capella. And here's Young. He'll bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark.
Boy, that's 0 for 3 in the early going. Just a little out of sync.
Here's Jay. Rebound, Atlanta. And here's Young. He's averaging almost 31 points a game right now, an extraordinary figure for any player to post. Pulls it up. Offensive rebound, Capella, and a missed layup. The Nets have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Here's Jay, defended by Young.
They are 0 for the game thus far. 0 of 4 here, still looking for their first make.
And GA, this Nets team, kind of slim on the interior, don't you think? How can they be most effective?
Well, you've got to press that advantage as far as quickness and get out and run and challenge opposing bigs to cover you in space.
Here's Claxton. Good work defensively by Bey.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
Hunter, no good.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about this work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
And so it's the Nets getting on the board first. Young looking around. And the dunk by Capella.
And this is the chemistry Capella has with his guys. Exceptional at feeling when to go for alley-oops.
The Nets have gotten only 1 of 6 shots to drop for them to start this game. Here's Jay. Finds the hole for the second time from the floor. Now 2 for 5.
Boy, doesn't get any easier than that. What a size advantage, and just goes to work.
And so Young will bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. Trailing by 2. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
Yeah, they were able to maintain focus in a hostile environment, and that led to taking shots that made sense.
Well, I'm sure they're still enjoying that one. You love going into a tough building, tough place to play, and shooting the lights out. Nothing like silencing the crowd.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. And from undrafted in 2016 Doris, Dorian Finney-Smith, now a player that every team in the league would covet.
Well, this is a long wing defender, Kevin, and he's now made himself legit as a 3-and-D prototypical player. And he stayed at it, earned the rewards, and now says, in my mind...
No. The Hawks trail by 11.
Because I almost fucked the ass up.
Now, Simmons is out there with Nicholas Claxton. Then there's Jay. Then it's Johnson. And it's Dinwiddie in at the 2. Hey, gets the bucket.
And hard to miss the wide open man that time. Kudos to Young for finding it.
And for Brooklyn, they're shooting well. We're at 45%. To the paint. Claxton. Claxton with the bucket.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Hawks shooting terribly up to this point, just 30%. Some ramshackle offense play there. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Thank you, Kevin. The Nets have been forced to pivot from their star-crossed super team era. The what-ifs are fading into the rearview mirror. Now it's people like Mikal Bridges that are going to form the next new era. And rest assured, this team has dug its way out of far worse. With the draft assets and two-way talent on the roster, their aim is to remain competitive. Evan?
I think they are. David, thank you for the report. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Nets?
And guys, they've done a great job feeding their bigs inside. They are just punishing the opposition in the paint.
And the other thing I love, how they're making the extra pass. They're not settling for the first shot. They're going from good to great.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And you think of height as an advantage in basketball, but Greg, the versatility at such a premium. Can you be too tall in today's NBA?
It's a valid question. The two biggest concerns for 7-footers are mobility and durability. To move the way they need to puts a lot of strain on those lower extremities.
Brooklyn with the ball. They've led by as many as 11 points. They beat the Hawks during their last encounter in Atlanta.
And in the last face-off against these guys, they enjoyed a huge advantage in free throw percentage.
They made this dude fire.
And taken away by Johnson. In transition, here come the Nets. Jay misses.
I'll tell you, he's trying to help them extend this lead, but it's been a tough night for him individually.
Hey, gets the bucket.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
And he comes up with the deuce. Claxton's got 4 this quarter. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Since moving to Atlanta in 1968, Greg, the Hawks have never been to the NBA Finals.
That is insane, Kevin. I mean, you think back to all the great players they've had, from Dominique Wilkins to now Trae Young. Hawks fans are hungry for a trip to the finals.
Nailed from three-point land.
Well, a high motor player like Mikal Bridges has got to make quick decisions. Rise and fire off the catch and shoot, Mikal.
Capella trying to free himself up. Atlanta gets it back. It's deflected. And they're on the break. Here's Claxton. Rebounded by the Hawks.
Boy, in that close,
how
he's
you missed
almost
that, B?
automatic. Boy, that's pretty good defense. Wow.
Griffin looking around. Capella inside. He had 13 points in the win against Detroit.
And don't
it's a
discount the
double
defensive
team.
presence, guys. He racked up 3 blocks for the game.
To the middle. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. 8 points for Jay.
You know, guys, that's the selfless attitude of Mikal Bridges. So willing to give it up to an open guy.
Griffin kicks to Young. Beyond the arc. Unable to get that one.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
Count the basket. Jay's got 10.
Big miscommunication on defense. He
Actually took
recognizes
advantage
it
of it.
and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
Atlanta calls timeout. Greg, here we are watching Claxton. Who does he remind you of?
You know, Kevin, defensively, he looks a lot like AD out there. Similar builds. And Claxton can also handle the ball a little bit. Just want to see if this guy can develop an ability to play facing up to the basket.
And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Okongwu's checked in for Capella. Johnson comes in for DeAndre Hunter. Bogdanovich is checked in for Griffin. And Murray's subbed in for Trae Young. The Nets also changing it up. Brendan Watford's checked in for Nicholas Claxton. O'Neal comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And Thomas subbed in for Johnson.
Well, you can count on Murray to push the action and make something happen.
for the first half of play. Nets out in front, up by 8. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, one half to go. Without question, Jay displaying his skills today.
He had a fast pass to the lane that first half, got inside on demand.
Now, this guy is such a good finisher on the move, and so far the defense has not been able to counter it.
In at small and power forward, it's Hunter and Bay. In the backcourt, it's the stars, Young and Murray. And it's Capella in at the center. That's the group starting the second half for Quinn Snyder.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Pass to Capella. Hunter against Johnson. Back to Capella, out left to the wing. Murray against Bridges. They get it again. The kick out to Young. Drills it from outside. Young's got 7 points in the game.
And this is what Young is known for, a knockdown threat from downtown.
Jay. And the Nets, another 3.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Young passes to Bay. Paxton coming off the assist from Young. Young's got 4 assists in the game. Nets leading by 7. With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Spencer Dinwiddie has talked about buying into his role. He says you have to have confidence that's borderline irrational, but a perspective that's very realistic. You've got to know who you are. Kevin, he adds that he's not attempting to be a Mount Rushmore type guy, but a talented player who can help a winning team.
That's a good perspective, David. Thanks for the story. Here's Jay, and the Nets another 3.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Here we are, Greg, watching Atlanta. This team has a lot of firepower.
And some great scores, Kevin. They don't just launch threes. They like to work for good shots inside the arc as well.
Here's Murray. And it falls over the rim and in. 11 points in the game.
Boy, everyone is getting to their spots and then capitalizing. 3 for 4 in the quarter. Beautiful.
Johnson, the pass to Jay. And again, it's Brooklyn converted.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Passes it to Bay. Back to Young. Excellent D there from Jay.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
That boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's Young. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
You know, you can't be overzealous inside when you guard Young. You got to be better at contesting without fouling.
The Hawks have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now.
Get down.
And the first one at the line is good.
And Young, a fiery competitor, someone who enjoys getting under the skin of opposing players.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Okongwu's checked in for Capella. Johnson comes in for Sadiq Bey. Griffin's checked in for DeAndre Hunter. And it's Bogdanovich in for Murray. Young from outside. Walker with the rebound.
I know he's got to be frustrated right now, but the team is fighting from behind. He's got to stay with it.
And it's good for 2. Simmons got the lead up to 12 now for Brooklyn.
they're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Young passes to Griffin. Johnson outside. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Bogdanovich. The offensive rebound. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. Okongwu's now got 6. And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
For viewers, timeout's a chance to check your phone, grab a drink, but for the teams, it's all about business.
Well, there's something that the coach doesn't like. I'm curious to see which kind of adjustment he makes here.
Some of the players we can expect to see in this year's dunk contest. Always one of the great events of All-Star Weekend.
It is, Kevin. You just can't take your eyes off it. The ideas those guys come up with, and then the guts it takes to pull them off, always blows me away.
Well, you look at Jay, and I know he'd like to make a move up in the consideration. He's got all the athleticism you hope for from a dunk contest participant.
He sure does. Lots of competition, though, in the running this year to get that big invite.
So there you go, and as it's looking, this year's dunk contest is shaping up to be a fantastic competition. We'll keep you updated on the voting.
No doubt it's going to be a good one, Kevin. We've got players on that list who'll do things that you didn't even think were possible.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
And there is no better way to add to the lead.
Isn't that true, GA, especially when the slam is coming from the point guard?
That's got to be a little bit deflating to the defense, guys. Getting kicked when you're down. My goodness.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Inside. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Simmons got 4 this quarter.
That's a big-time finish by Ben Simmons. With that frame, sometimes he makes that look easy.
Now, here is Young, guarded closely. Latrey. Can't connect. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Nets lead by 15. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Atlanta. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
I'll tell you, in today's game, you want skill and decision-making at every position.
Okongwu comes in for Sadiq Bey. Young is subbed in for Hunter. And then for Brooklyn, Johnson comes in for Cameron Thomas. And Jay subbed in for Dinwiddie. And that one falls for Okongwu. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Setting the floor for the Nets. Nicholas Claxton out there with Dorian Finney-Smith. Then there's Cam Johnson. Then it's Mikal Bridges. And it's Jay in at the point.
Really, really good possession there. They've never lost their focus, even as the game's gotten tight.
You know, a few more possessions like that one, and they can put the finishing touches on this game. They just have to have effective trips like that one.
Atlanta calls timeout.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
And now, let's present our New Balance Player of the Game, Jay.
And his focus, guys, has been laser sharp, and his touch from the field, flawless. The teammates have worked hard to get him the ball in some good positions, and boy, has he rewarded them with a spectacular shooting performance. Great call to keep running all those sets for him.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. And now we've got some time to check in from the sideline. You got for us, DA?
During that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Quinn Snyder said to his team. He said in the huddle, you got to play some defense in the paint. They're getting too much in there. Battle down low. Time to fight, guys.
Thanks, David. Back to Finney Smith. Nice pass. Right into the rack perfectly for the layup. And it's a 10-point Nets lead. Young outside. From 13. Okongwu controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Here's Jay. Over in the corner, Claxton. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Jay. He's defended by Bay. Finney Smith can't get it to go.
And his defense so valuable. Not many can bother that shot at the rim.
Boy, you see the effort. You see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down.
Out to the wing. And he lays it straight in. And the Nets lead by 10.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand.
So for the Hawks, Bruno Fernando's checked in for Bay. Johnson comes in for DeAndre Hunter. And Griffin subbed in for Murray. A big group substitution here for Brooklyn. Simmons checked in for Nicholas Claxton. Royce O'Neal comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Lonnie Walker, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's Cameron Thomas in for Mikal Bridges. Young with no one around. Atlanta again missing.
Boy, he was wide open. You wonder, did he overthink it? That's a missed opportunity.
Jay, the pass to Simmons. And he gets the bucket.
Making every effort to put this game on ice.
Well, just terrific teamwork. Each guy doing his part. You love what you're seeing from them tonight.
The 19-foot shot, and Griffin with the score. The assist from Young. To the inside. Here's Jay. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time GA this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.